Brady. Touchdown, what a catch!
Brady floats, one caught, touchdown Edelman.
They broke it!
Brady takes the snap. Wide open, wide. Touchdown, Patriots!
Way to go, baby!
He dives into the end zone.
You're too old! You're too old!
On the money! Touchdown, Patriots!
1.5 yards for the Super Bowl, boys.
Touchdown, Patriots! Yes, it's still a dynasty.
Yes, it's still a dynasty indeed. Welcome to Good Morning Football. We are live here in New York City, Tuesday, August 6th. Brady, a sixth-round pick. Brady, the sixth highest-paid quarterback right now in the National Football League. We'll talk Patriots in a bit. They have a practice going on with the Lions currently this week, leading into a preseason game. My name's Kay, Kyle Brandt.
Hello.
Peter Schrager.
Brady, 6 rings. The 6 is our
Brady 6.
This is it. It's unbelievable.
Happens. Hi, Sean O'Hara. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Brady could have 8 rings. He just doesn't because of guys like you.
Yeah. He's still got time, though. He might get to 8.
You're right.
He was also 6th on our top 100 right here in the NFL.
Wow, look at that.
As the
Synergy!
He was sick when David Tyree caught that ball. What is going on?
It's time for the lead block.
Lead block.
Let's do it. So Ian Rappaport, our NFL Network insider, reported details of Patriots quarterback Tom Brady's contract extension yesterday. The 2 years of Brady's extension will officially void on the last day of the 2019 league year, and he will technically become a free agent. The plot thickens. Here's what Brady had to say about what appears to be some uncertainty of his contract.
No, I don't want to think that I'm any different than everyone else. Football's a tough business. It's a production business, and I'm ready to go this year, and that's really what matters, and that's where my focus is. It's a unique situation I'm in. I'm 20th year with the same team, and be 42 years old, so pretty much uncharted territory, I think, for everybody. I'm not worried. I'm really not worried about it. I'm secure for this year, and I think at least I get a few first-team reps out there. So, just go out there and try to do the best I can.
Isn't everybody pretty much good for just this year? I'm with Brady, Schrags. I'm not concerned about this stipulation in his contract. Should I be?
I don't think so. I think that the relationship between Kraft family and Brady is stronger than any quarterback-owner relationship. And, yeah, so he'll make $25 million this year when someone else is making $35 million. Down the line in life, those $10 million are going to be minute to Tom Brady's lifestyle and what he has. The relationship is that strong. And it, I think, supersedes Belichick. I think this is owner, son, and Jonathan Kraft, and Brady. And this is the relationship that gives them the advantage over every other team in the NFL. When the quarterback and the owner are so close, live in the same neighborhood out there in Brookline, have the same types of circles socially, this is where you're at. And when it matters most, Brady's going to always be taken care of. So, yeah, would he rather have his team relevant and have a well-rounded roster and save those? Sure, he's going to sign year to year. Yeah, he wants to be respected and not insulted, but it's the greatest advantage the Patriots have that Brady isn't worried about this stuff and doesn't need to be the highest paid quarterback year in, year out.
I'm always fascinated by the end game for Brady, and I guess the nightmare is always like something unthinkable would happen and Brady would leave New England. We saw Joe Montana on the Chiefs. We saw Brett Favre on the Jets and Vikings. It's not going to happen. I think Robert Kraft will never let Tom Brady be in another jersey. And the fact is, the Aaron Rodgers and the Steve Young in those equations is now playing starting quarterback for the 49ers. He's gone. So that's the only concern I would ever have, and I don't think it's a valid one, really.
Patriots and Lions have joint practices in Allen Park, Michigan right now as we send it over to Stacey Dales and Mike Giardi, who are with us this morning and will be on Inside Training Camp Live. I'm super excited to see the reunions out there, and things always get really chippy, iron sharpening iron. What are we expecting to see with Tom Brady and the Patriots at Lions joint practice today?
Well, Kay, good morning. I think we're going to see somewhat of a mirror image of one another in terms of how these teams like to practice. But I have to have Mike Giardi, guys, talk a little bit about Tom Brady. He is embedded with this franchise. And listen, Mike, to piggyback on this conversation, I mean, the Patriots have won 3 of the last 5 Super Bowls, for heaven's sakes. This is right where they're supposed to be, I would assume, with Tom.
It is, but it's an interesting scenario, and I think you heard Tom reference it there with the unique and uncharted territory that he talked about, because I think ideally Tom would like a full commitment from the team. 3 years, I want to play till I'm 45, give me a bag of money, $50 million guaranteed or whatever. And I think the team looks at it and says, Tom, no one's ever done this before. And we're not doubting that you can do it, but if we commit that much and all of a sudden the drop-off happens, where does that leave us as an organization? So I think Tom had to wrap his head around, we have to structure this differently. And I don't know that necessarily tasted good in the immediacy of it, but then I think he saw, you know what, I'll bet on myself like I always bet on myself. And then guess what? The onus is now on the New England Patriots at the end of the league year to make sure that I don't become a free agent and someone else doesn't offer me a contract.
We just saw him there in the monitor with a young fan. It seems like he's more playful than ever, 42 years old, and masterful in what really this organization has done with their contracts. But, you know, from a personal standpoint, witnessing Tom right now, would that be accurate?
Yeah, I think that when he says that he loves coming to work every day, I think it's legit. I think he loves the competition of it. I think he loves being around his younger teammates. Talked to some guys this year who said he doesn't act 41 or now 42. You know, he acts like he's 25 or 26, and you see that with some of the goofy interactions that he has with those guys. I think he's tried to stay young, and I think he's actually been able to stay young, as you can see by his performance.
And guys, just a preview of what's to come. Like I said, Matt Patricia, this isn't about buddyship or, you know, BFFs with his former head coach in Bill Belichick. This is about getting work done and maximizing the potentiality of practice. That's why these two teams are together here.
I cannot wait to see Trey Flowers going up against his former squad. I also love the moments when Bill Belichick sort of chums up and gives credit to another player on another squad. We've seen it with guys like A.J. Green and Bradley Chubb at the Combine in the past. I feel like Hawkinson might be that guy. All those Gronk comparisons throughout the draft process we might be seeing some of that out there in Allen Park, Michigan. Thank you so much, Stacey Dales and Mike Giardi, for hanging out. And we will see you a little bit later on NFL Network. We do have some news.
Here we go.
Jane Slater tweeting this moments ago back in Oxnard for Cowboys camp on Wednesday and had a few new details on the contract front. I'm told the team has generous offers on the table for their quarterback, running back, and wide receiver, putting each one in the top 5 highest paid at their position. Jane continues on Twitter over at @SlaterNFL. Additionally, I'm told they're ready and willing to get the deals done, but if the two sides can't agree on numbers that make more sense, the Cowboys are prepared to play this season with each player on a prove-it deal. Sean, thoughts on this?
I mean, it makes sense from the Cowboys' perspective. Look, you want to lock all three of these guys up, so why wouldn't you give them a great offer? I think when you look at Zeke not being there, I mean, I think to me that just kind of hurts that whole relationship. Like, you know, Dak wants a new contract too, but he's there practicing. So, you know, I think this is maybe one of those cases where as soon as one guy signs, the other dominoes will fall. But these are the new triplets. Right? We talk about Emmett, Irv, and Troy. I mean, this is what we could be looking at for the future of the star for years to come.
I don't think it's that shocking that they would get top 5 the way the market's going. So then what does that mean? Well, it still means a possibility he's the 5th highest paid quarterback in Dak Prescott, and that's still below Carson Wentz. And guess what? Jared Goff will sign a deal a week later, and he'll sign one that's more than both of them. So then suddenly you're the 6th, and maybe another guy, the 7th. I mean, Jane's spot on here in that the Cowboys are going to, you know, make generous offers, but they didn't say the top highest paid. You know, Jane's not saying we're paying him more than Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. And at the end of the day, these agents do not like to be embarrassed. And if you're Todd France, who's Dak Prescott's agent, you don't want 2 other quarterbacks in the same draft class, Carson Wentz and Jared Goff, to make more than your guy, who you think is the quarterback of America's team. So, look, are they willing to go? I don't think these players are going to necessarily bend over. Okay, oh, definitely. Let me break my back and get there in camp. Top 5, yeah, all 3 guys should be paid top 5.
But maybe if you're Dak, you say, you're Todd France, I'm Dak Prescott. Like, I want to be a Cowboys quarterback for life. They gave me a top 5 offer. Maybe I should take this. It seems a little too neat and symmetrical. Like, the report is great because it lines up. All 3 are going to be top 5. And you might think, well, go get it. But then if you're Zeke, you're like, no, I want to be the number 1 paid highest. I have a very limited shelf life right now. It's August 6th. We don't got a game for another month. So back to the drawing board, guys. It's encouraging, but this is far from over. Those guys could easily refuse those offers.
More on this throughout the morning here. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially with contracts nowadays, the guaranteed money, the incentives, there's so much language going into that. So to just say, hey, we offer generous offers.
Yeah, what else
it
you
does
got?
sound like posturing.
Yeah.
And I think with Zeke, given his background and his history with what's going on, there's a lot of language that needs to be in there. When it comes to guaranteed money, if you've got somebody that is kind of flying off the wall a little bit, he's in Cabo right now for crying out loud. So, of course, we're going to have some added language in that. It's not always cut and dry. dry.
And if they all get broke off, what does it mean for Jalen Smith and other guys? They're not
Yes.
the only 3 dudes that need to get paid.
Break
on
them
that
off,
squad.
Kate.
Though if they are top 5 and they get this done, that team is scary in 2019 going into preseason action. The Browns, they've got a nice running back named Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
A couple of great wide receivers.
Yeah, they're also
Odell,
scary.
Landry. Will they be in the Super Bowl this year? This has really taken a turn for the Nate Burleson.
It really has.
Don't forget about Antonio Callaway, too, man. He's a burner.
Burner.
He is. And after the big 3, which tight end should you reach for in your fantasy draft?